know, every little bit that you do to the mic, it's gonna be like whenever you touch the black section of it, makes all kinds of weird noises. So we don't know where this video is gonna go. We don't have no idea. We just decided to get in front of the camera. Well, I decided to get in front of the camera.
Show the.
Oh, we're just trying something. We bought some chocolate yesterday.
It was Mother's Day, so I'm a chocoholic, so we got some chocolate.
Yeah.
So we're trying this one.
Hey, don't worry. I will take a photo and put it here. I will put it here. But if you need to know, like right now, what's it say?
To me, it's like chocolonely. Tony's chocolonely?
Chocolonely.
Tony's chocolonely?
I have no idea who Tony is, but they have a few different. And this is milk chocolate pretzel
toffee. Yeah,
so,
that sounded intriguing. Intriguing.
Yeah. I was not a chocolate person until I met her. And it took about 2.5 decades to get me to liking chocolate.
But he likes the refined chocolate.
Yeah, I got fine taste.
I like anything that's got cocoa.
She's cheap.
Chocolate milk.
By the way, this right here on the table, this is just
a game that he was starting
it's upside
to play.
Down. Oh no, it's right side up.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I picked it up. See, he's contradicting me.
Business villainous. And no, we're not going to talk about it. I promise. If you watch some of the other videos, if you watch that other one that I said I was not going to, oh, this is intriguing.
Oh.
That I said I was not going to talk about the game that we had here. It was called Heat, Pedal to the Metal. It was a racing game. By the way, excellent game.
I liked that just when we did the basic simplified, then we added some stuff and it was okay. Then we added some other stuff and I was like, okay. But I actually just like the plain out, like just race it down and dirty, let's go. But that's mostly because I won more times that way.
On Villainous, even though I say I was not going to talk about it, you play as one of the many villains in the Disney. I don't want to say Disney World because that sounds like the amusement park.
You can be Captain Hook. You can be Maleficent. If you don't get the thing, it's about the villains.
Yeah.
Hence, villainous.
Bad guys. So, anyways, this is
intriguing.
Maybe I should take a photo.
There's Tony's and everything on there.
Sure. Where's your phone? Let's take a photo and put it.
If you broke a piece off.
It's kind of nasty. Just putting my hands on the cell phone and then grabbing food with it.
I don't take mine to the bathroom and play with it, so.
Oh, I do, but it's okay because mine's over there.
They have different sections. So you have I like a little bit of chocolate, and I like a lot of chocolate. So, you, me.
That's a big chunk. I did bring a knife and a small cutting board.
We don't need it. It's already cut. The chocolate, you don't taste the pretzel too much. I mean, a little bit. You definitely taste the toffee, but the chocolate is a little bit above the toffee. So you have the chocolate, a little bit of toffee, and a little bit of pretzel, but more towards the end.
Yeah, you could have another piece. Just
is that how you feel it? Like
sure.
You taste the chocolate?
Yeah.
I'm the chocolate connoisseur. You can barely taste the pretzel, which you taste chocolate, toffee, and a little bit of pretzel.
The chocolate is not super sweet and rich like your typical Hershey bars, which is nice. That's why I've spoken with some people that have tried true German chocolate, and they said it's nothing like, no offense, American people, nothing like American style chocolate. American style chocolate tend to be,
Us American people.
yeah, it tends to be like super sweet, and I don't care too much for like super sweet stuff. But it's mighty tasty.
That was very good.
So,
I gave him that look because he actually took the bigger piece that time.
I've had like 3 or 4 pieces already.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the. You never do that, so you actually really like this.
Mm-hmm. Tony, wherever you are, hey. Next time we go to Walmart, we're gonna try some other stuff off your line.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, all right. So we talked about Tony. What else we want to talk about?
He's gonna show you some videos about what we did over the weekend. Over the weekend, this year we had, as everybody knows, we have goats. So we had babies. We had 11 bucklings, and we had 8 girls. And when you have that many bucklings, you have to make decisions.
Baby boys. Bucklings are the baby boys.
Yes.
Apparently, my wife has not watched my videos because in my videos I've explained that we're skipping the fancy lingo. Okay, bucklings, baby boys.
Okay. So we had baby boys, we had baby girls, we had quite a few baby boys. For our breeding program and for the pasture land, and he'll explain more in another video that he's already done.
But we could still touch base on.
Yeah, you basically can't have too many boys. I mean, you can ban them and stuff, but
banning them meaning they're boys, and then you ban them, and then they stop being full boys because somebody parts will just.
Yeah, and you can take them to the vet to do some stuff, but that's more expensive. Many farms, if you look, just do the banding because you pop it on there, you let them go. Some of them act like they're dying. Some of them act like they don't even know what happened. It just depends. As I do know, if you take them to the vet, they pretty much do the same thing, but they go and cauterize. So I'm not sure which one's worse.
And then you get a bill.
Yeah, so I'm not sure which one's worse. We have not banned any bucklings yet. I dread the day we do that because when we do that, it's either going to be a very special boy that's going to become a non-boy boy. It's going to be called what's called a wether, which means they don't have a scrotum or balls or whatever. And if we do that, it's because it's a very special goat that we're going to keep as a pet or something. But unfortunately, our girls and our buck, he breeds, they produce babies. The babies, we either keep them or we sell them. I try to sell as many as I can to find good homes for them, so that way they can help the rest of the animals keep their life here.
Yeah, we can either do private sales, where we, Facebook or word of mouth. We can do private sales, or we'll do the livestock auction.
I've done a lot where I've in the past we've met a lot of people. I do bulk deals, trying to find homes, and I try to make sure a couple of them get sold together so that they have a family member going with them. And that way they basically have a friend at their new home. The other thing, though, is when we take them to the sale, the reason sometimes that happens is when you have as many bucklings as we've had the last 2 times, it's kind of a surplus, and people only want to get 1 or 2 bucklings at a time, because you really don't want more than pretty much 2 on your farm unless you have enough land that you can separate out different herds. Otherwise, they will fight. They'll fight to the death, injuries. It's just very complicated.
And some of the fights when you have a buck with another buck, some of the, I don't want to say entertaining, when they're like being almost like siblings, going at it. But some of the other ones can be, fairly nasty. I mean, when they hit each other, they hit hard. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we don't want none of that. No, nothing at all. We don't even, the females, even the females, they can sometimes, it's weird because that they
show dominance. They want who's the hierarchy of your herd.
And that I still don't understand, because every once in a while they start showing behavioral pattern as a buck in heat. I mean, just as a buck that wants to breed.
Yeah, they jump on them, act like they're breeding, and that's actually a dominance factor. Yeah. Does do it. The babies, the boys and the girls, at like literally a week old, they're jumping on each other, and you're like, oh, they're trying to breed. No, they're between pretending to breed and just showing dominance over each other, because it's just in their nature. Because we've literally had bottle baby goats that like have had in the house that literally were doing it in the house, never exposed to their own parents except the day they were born. They had an issue, so we brought them in the house, and they were bottle fed, and within a week they're jumping around playing, and they're headbutting each other or jumping on each other and trying to show dominance. Like, you have not even been out there with the big guys. So so anyways, we went to the sale. We do that so that we can
7.5 hours there, but we may or may not touch base as to why we spend that much time there. Now you can go drop off your livestock, whatever it is you're selling. You have like an account, and
you can wait for a check in the mail.
Right.
You can do that too.
But I rather, and Wendy does, we rather just stay there. For one, we like to see what's coming in and out. What's selling, what's not. And we also want to leave with our check. When we go home, we're gonna take our check with us, which I'm gonna keep on running with it. Like some people have asked, about, like how much money you guys make at a sale. Like if you guys take this many goats, how much money do you guys make over there? Well, let me ask you this: what's your household income this week? How much money are you guys bringing home this month? Well, to us, obviously you don't feel comfortable talking about it. So to us, it's the same. It's the same thing. It is our, I don't want to say our side job, but in a way it is. Because it is income that we're bringing to the house. So now, if you ask me what goats are selling for, yeah, I will tell you.
Well, it's all over the place depending on where you're located, what you're at, what you have.
The time of the year.
What size, like we took 11 bucklings and we took 4 doelings. 4 doelings are the baby girls. Mm-hmm. So we took both. They were at about either a little bit under or a little bit over by like less than a week on 12 weeks. So definitely weaned, can eat on their own. And I wanted to also take them when they were young enough that they could adapt to a new family, adapt to a new farm. Now I will touch base on one of the biggest reasons we do this, that we have to make some money and have to sell them and can't keep everybody, is we need to feed them. And, the reasons we hatch chickens, the reason, we've done the pigs, the reason we've done the goats, it's to help sustain the farm for the other animals. And I hate to say, about the only animal that doesn't bring an income that uses it the most are my horses, but we've literally had...
Well, they do bring
an emotional peace in our life.
Because we ride them.
We ride them when
we don't ride the goats. We don't ride the pigs. We definitely don't ride the chickens.
One of these days, we'll figure out a way to hook those goats up to a cart, though, because we know people can hook them up to a cart, and we know goats can be pack goats.
That is definitely...
that's going to be our next step.
But, do that. Yeah. Yeah, we ride the horses, so they don't necessarily have to bring an income.
Yeah. So thankfully, our goats help with that because I've had my horse Argento since the year 2000. He is 27 years. Yes, the horse that he rides. I've had him since he was 2, and he is now 27. So this is a horse I've had for 25 years.
And we have been together longer than that.
3 decades. Yes, we know.
Just in case you were wondering.
So, but that horse, he has devoted his life to us. He has taught my children how to ride. He's taught many friends how to ride. He's his go-to horse to ride because he's got the build, the stature, the demeanor to take care of him. But like I said, unfortunately, I don't breed horses. We did try that a long time ago. We just
we at one, like right now we have 6, but at one time we had 12, 12 or 13, and that was like way too many. And we were also trying to uh, focusing on their bloodline, the papers. And one day we're thinking, well, we're not, this is not what we are. We're not technically breeders. We just want to get horses to ride, or to maybe teach other people to ride.
Yeah, when you breed a mare, you can ride them, but you have to remember how much you ride them and what stress you're putting them on when they're incubating and cooking you up a baby. You want that baby to be as healthy as it can when it pops out. So it's like your kid gloves around it. And we did 3 mares. When we'd gotten them, we had breeding rights to his stud. So we went back, we got them bred, and I even took them to the vet, got ultrasounded, did all this stuff. We were excited. I did this shot, and I don't know exactly what happened, but all 3 mares unfortunately lost the babies. That was so devastating. And just kind of, let's just say if the goats would have done that to me, we wouldn't be breeding goats either. Because it's like we've had goats that have miscarried early. And trust me, that's when I am, what causes miscarriages? What does this? What do I need to do? What deficiency? It's like I haven't had any, but as soon as we got one, I had one, and I thought, okay, it was fluke. I got a second one. You best be believing I was looking to see what vitamin, what supplement, whatever we needed. And it's some lands, depending on where you are, if you're going to get animals, some dirt land can be deficient in certain minerals and vitamins. So one of the things I found out was I added a selenium block, and a friend, I couldn't get them, so I'd have them shipped, but she was like, hey, I'm getting 3 of them, and I only need like 1. Do you want 1 or 2? I'm like, yeah, I'll buy them off you, so I didn't have to run around.
Now, these blocks are heavy. They're
50-pound blocks.
They're 50-pound blocks, and they're not that expensive. But if you're special ordering one, I mean, you're looking at 50-pound shipment.
Yeah, the girl even told me, she's a friend of mine. She has another farm, not down the road, but
You do the same thing I do sometimes when I'm talking to the camera and I'm pointing like there's somebody there just looking and say, hey, right over there.
We're just down the road. I mean, they're a few miles away, but I talked to her and just happened to be talking to her about that. She's like, oh, wow. She's like, we only need, well, she needed 2. And she's like, well, we have to order 3. But she's like, we actually only need like 1.5. She's like,
she ordered 3 to get the free shipping.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I'll buy the other ones from you. And then that way you got that covered, and we split everything, and it worked out great. And we have not had another issue since then. And that was, like I said, the first time we miscarried was early last year. And so now I'm trying to stay on top of that because I didn't know, like I said, I've done a lot of research on goats. This is why we went with the Nigerian dwarfs. I went for
it is the right size for us.
Yeah.
Now, when you hear the dwarf part on the breed name, they're small, but they're not pygmy size small. Yeah. Most people think they're the pygmy size. Now, the pygmy size are like very small. Those are most people that are looking for a true pet goat. That's what they go for. Nigerian dwarfs, they're like a couple of sizes above that.
Yeah, they're like our dog. She's like a lab mix. They're that size ish, give or take, just a little bit on height. Like our buck, he. I'm still thinking
Our male that breeds
the supplemental milk. We have his sister, and she's literally half the size of him. And I swear it was a supplemental milk that I gave him, because when he was born, evidently Mama got up with the daughter, and she walked away, and little boy wasn't ready to jump up and go. And she took him, and we were excited. She had a baby girl. We're like, yay! And then
we did not know that Mama had twins. So when we saw the mama with the baby, we thought the mama only had one baby. 2 days go by, and Wendy's out in the field, and Wendy hears something among the tall grass. Wendy goes over there, and she discovers the second baby that the mama had.
And
by that time,
I did try to take the baby to the mama, but it's been a night. She's like, wait a minute.
The scent has gone.
Yeah. They have to, as soon as they're born, you have to make sure the mother's licking them, cleaning them. Now, we have transplanted babies before over to different mamas.
We need to stay on focus on Koffee. Koffee is the name of our buck that breeds. So the mama would not take him because by that time, her scent on him was gone. We bring him in the house. We obviously we don't have any goat milk. Wendy goes and gets some
supplement. It's a powder
that she mixes with water, and it has all the nutrients and all that. To this day, we still think that brand was spiked with either growth hormones, steroids, or something, because Koffee blew up in size, and to this day, and I might put some of you have seen it on Facebook or some of the videos, but I'm gonna put on the photo right here, and for you guys to see it. And because he was raised inside of the house, even though he's huge for what he is, he is one of the sweetest animals we've ever owned. So
he literally just walks up to you and is like, and then he makes this funny little noise. He's a cutie. He's a big cutie. He tops out. He's max size for a Nigerian dwarf. Now, some of it, if you look at him, goes, man, he's huge. Well, if you fluff the hair down, he is a little bit smaller.
Yeah, he's fluffy.
If I shaved him, he would look more presentable. But
now look at the horns. The horns are huge.
The horns are impressive. Yeah. His masculine beard is quite impressive.
That he pees on it like all the bucks. But that's what the male bucks do. That's to attract the ladies.
So that's to explain some of we breed as many of the does as we can. They produce the babies. I try to sell them individually. When I see a market that I don't think I'm going to be able to hit and sell enough bucklings to enough individuals, and we have to make a trip, or I'm like, okay, we're going to take this lot this year, and we pretty much feed them up, get them a little bit chunkier, get them ready to go to sale. I make sure, they're getting vitamins, minerals, everything. Because I will say, going to any sale for any animal, even humans, it can be stressful on the body.
And one thing that Wendy does, whether it's a private sale or live auction, if it's in a livestock auction and that's the buyer still there, Wendy will track that person down to tell that buyer stuff about the animal that they just bought.
Yes, I made sure there's a couple.
So that to make sure, even if it's somebody that has raised goats, Wendy will go towards a buyer to let them know a little bit of our goats and a little bit of that goat they just purchased.
Yeah, so that way they kind of know what to expect. Now, the other reason I want to let you know about this and about the sale and stuff is you might be like, oh my gosh, why did you take them to the auction? I'm going to say, well, one, like I said, we unfortunately have to make some money back to put back to the other animals. I wish money grew on trees. I wish they pooped money. That'd be great. But they don't. And I wanted to also let people know.
Well, technically the goats do poop money.
Yeah, the grass is great. I mean, they're fertilizing great. I mean,
some goat breeders, they collect the goat poop and they bag it up and they take it to the farmer's market and they sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will. We've tried the vegetable gardening and all that. We've tried a few times. It doesn't work for us.
I mean, we've gotten a few things here and there, but we either don't do big enough or, I have the autoimmune issues. So it's like, if, a garden is more full-time work than you think. Just, going back to the goats real quick. People, like I said, you might not like the auction idea. I want to let you know the downside to if we were to keep them all. This is very sad, very upsetting. If we were to keep them all, we would end up banding them. And if you go to a lot of group sites, they will tell you that goat needs to go to freezer camp. And we have not freezer camped anybody as far as a goat. Have we done pigs in the past? If we did not sell them and get them a home? Yeah. Because also with pigs, when pigs are born, you have to literally pretty much take them from mama when they're babies, or you have to be very hands-on to make them a pet to be sold. So unfortunately, we have had pigs that did not go, even though I posted them, tried to meet people, tried to do this, and they were getting too, I don't want to say feral, but they were not handleable enough. And as a pig gets bigger, you either need to feed them a moderated diet to keep them on a smaller size, or you just free feed, and then you get a pig that's going to be freezer because it's huge. And pigs they get big. And if they're not a nice pig, you can get into trouble.
Now, that's what we try to stick with smaller breeds. For instance, some of the ones we have now are American guinea hogs, which is, they're not.
With a cross of potbelly. And if you're like, that's a weird cross, I'm going to let you know why.
No, they don't need to know why.
Oh.
No, because we're venturing out. This video is going to be 3 hours long by the time we're finished.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next one.
And just so
I don't know, I have Barrett back up there, but I keep looking this way. I
don't like looking at Barrett. Why can't we put a picture?
And I'll put a picture of Barrett again. If you watched my previous video, you know who Barrett is.
Tell him to put a picture of one of our animals up there. Because looking at Barrett, I just feel strange.
You need to find me a photo, and I'll put it up there. You're
gonna put a hot, sexy lady up there so we can both look.
Yes. Anyways,
literally 10 minutes.
Wendy knows how they work because she used to work at one.
Yeah, when I was healthy, I used to. I had 2-3 jobs.
So that's kind of nice to have her knowledge when we're doing this. So to wrap it up, I have no idea how long this video has been. We're just gonna eat chocolate in front of the camera
and talk about the goat auction.
And talk about the goat auction, and that's it.
Let me real quick.
Maybe we didn't know what we're gonna do with this video. I told him, let's go and sit in front of the camera and see what happens.
He's like, what do you want to talk about? Well, I talk a lot, so.
Oh, she does, and that's why I keep cutting her off.
And I'm not even at 100%. I'm like at 85%, not feeling the best. Maybe that's why I'm so talkative, not feeling good, because I haven't been around anyone. Like you and the camera, it's like being around people.
True that. So yeah, she has not been around that many people. So like I said, hopefully you just clicked on the play and just listen to us instead of seeing our ridiculous faces. Maybe what we need to do is just make a short video of the horses, a short video of the pigs, and so on.
And we'll go off topic like we always do.
To be more specific. And
see, he just needs to do a video, and then he just shoots stuff, and then he just cuts it off.
Almost like an umbrella.
Yeah.
Oh, like a tree. It's like we'll start talking about this, and it's like, we'll go this way. So anyway, guys, until the next one.
See you.